good to go. I'm recording my secondary. Okay, so I now have audio inputting to the OBS stream, and then also, and I could probably minimize that to reduce the demand on the system. Here is my amazing, um, what's it called? Origin residence. My one of the 3 spaces that come as part of the Origin residence pack has these amazing stairs. It's normally like I'm in creative, the curation mode, so all of the collision detection is disabled and everything. But I've just been exploring like just the scale of this. Look how many frames there are. I mean, they're everywhere. So this is just such a great space for me for the metaverse kind of sales type stuff that I'm looking to do. Curation, top floor. Maybe we make this all about just 3D assets. Maybe I discover that having 50 3D assets all here just is too resource intensive and crashes things. But this is the point, is to experiment a little bit with what we can achieve and how's the experience on mobile, how is it on desktop, and I'm looking forward to learning all of that. At this moment you can see I'm experimenting with scale just for fun, just making a bicycle the size of the whole darn place, and there's some bigger plans for that kind of thing that I think are going to be fun. Just not even plans, but kind of just explorations, really. Bigger explorations in the works. Now, I did want to go over to a specific location, the pools, and I wish that I knew the exact name of it. Metaverse pools. Yeah. So I want to curate some more Metaverse domains just because I've started to acquire a few, but I think I'll just check and see if the Metaverse pools could accommodate all of them. It might be getting a little bit close to the bone on that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's explore. Why don't we just start with that? Okay, so we're going to start curating. So this will be sort of a demo video for how to curate your ENS. And I'm on the blockchain settings here. I'm on the ETH. And then I've just typed in Metaverse entry. That's a goodie. And we'll pop that on the wall. I can choose a frame and I can maximize. So now I'm not maximizing, I'm dragging a size slider. And I sort of thought just for the ease and simplicity that I would leave them all at the default size, partially because the walls are contoured in such a way that once you start messing with the scale too much, you have to start, adjusting their location a little bit more. And so I just didn't want to open that can of worms with all of these. So I thought, okay, let's kind of keep them more standardized. I'm remembering now how I started this. And the curation process, as you could see, just searching immersion meta. Okay, that's a goodie. I'm going to say that about all these. That's a goodie. People are going to start mocking me for that. I got to be careful now if I'm making content here. It's something I might just say in passing. If anybody does start paying attention to what I'm doing over here, it could come back to bite me. So I'm searching meta ticket meta. I mean, come on, that's a great one. Ticket meta. And just recently during a Shark Tank, I had a few people make proposals of domains that they were looking to sell, for not cheap, right? So like kind of a lot. And I was like, well, what else is in that genre? It's one of the great things about hanging out with the Shark Tank. If you have you don't have a lot of money to buy, or maybe you don't want to sell any of your domains, it's still great to be there for the alpha on how people are responding to the different pitches that are made, and just like the greater genre of them. That has a lot of value. I wonder if am I audible? I assume that my audio is being picked up in all this. Ooh, gosh, Amazing. The guys from Amazing are so talented. I swear, I'm so excited about working with them. Marco and his team are like the most gifted 3D modelers and 3D animators, and they're just like wildly talented. They do this augmented stuff. That's really the most exciting thing I've seen in a long time, and that's why I'm in here. That's why I'm doing all this stuff. This is just in service of that, really. All my meta domains in this display area, like this is about bringing people into a bigger experience, and this is kind of an entry for some of my friends who understand domains, and maybe they will also appreciate and understand the physical domains that we're talking about here differently. If you bring them in here and say, look, this is a kind of a domain, this is a physical space, this is a meta domain, it's a domain that overarches your domains. I'm putting many ENS domains within this this space, which I'm calling a meta domain. Here, tickets meta. I mean, really? I have ticket meta and tickets meta, and I'll do that sometimes with plurals and other variants that I think are really strong. But generally, I don't just try and grab every plural and singular. Meta. This is an interesting one. I don't know if this is the smartest registration because maybe nobody's looking for this. But at the same time, I think it's interesting, and I might want to build on it, but I think that someone else might, meta immersed. It's cool. But that one's actually fine, but there was one that was like meta immersed. It's kind of like, all right, that's a stretch. Or meta immersive or something. Meta. Yeah, I already hung that one apparently. Oops, there we go. So let's see, meta caves. Why not? That was probably not the greatest registration. There's a lot better stuff I could have registered. I registered that because the space was called Meta Caves, and I just thought it was such a cool name. But no, okay, that's that is the space. That's remarkable. That's remarkable. Now that I know that I can put the video as an asset like that, I could put that on the TV in the bar. Okay, I'm totally gonna do that like this moment. Okay, watch this. We'll go over to... Okay, I literally have to get rid of some of these that I haven't curated anything in, and they're just in the way. I was kind of squatting them, but now I see that they just get in the way on your profile page too. And every time I go to look for something, it's just obnoxious. Really, sincerely obnoxious. This is the wrong way to do this. There it is. And I don't know if they order consistently also. Alright, so I was looking for the TV in here. I thought I could do something unique with the space, embedding a space that will show a demo. This will show a demo of the bar itself, but that doesn't really make sense in the bar. I don't really love that. But if I search by OnCyber, the museum is a great, yeah, that's a great thing to show there. Let's do that. And will it fit nicely? See, that's one of the things I don't like. I wish the frame was more on the frames. I wish it was more like a bounding box for non-matching aspect ratios. I mean, it's fine to try and clip things for it, but generally speaking, if there's a frame there, it would be nice if the frame actually like acted as a frame instead of just appearing as a frame. But I mean, that's a start right there. That's the first like kind of, oh, would you guys like to check out my Metaverse? Some of my other spaces. I don't know. It's not the best because it's not curated. It's just the demo space. But it's still nice though. I actually do like it. Maybe I should put a different frame that will kind of conceal the width, the big width of the bounding box. I think that's pretty good. That looks better to me. Alright, so what else do we have in here? I was going to do the SIPs. I think SIPs is better. ETH tab is nice, but is beer, par charts. How about SIPs? I had some SIPs coffee, SIPs wine, and shrink it some. I don't know, I feel bad with it kind of floating way up there, out of sight. Sure would be nice to have it a little more visible. How about that? That'll have to do. Doodly doo. Okay, we'll do a few more cool ones. A couple more sips. There's a sips wine emoji. I really think these are fun, and I think they'll have value. So just as long as they're discovered, as long as somebody else can see the fun in it. And that's why domain plug is really interesting. Oh, 000. I'm multi-streaming right now, man. I'm going full metaverse, bro. It may seem like I'm just talking to myself on a Twitter space, which I am, but I'm also talking to myself on several other platforms, or at least I'm attempting to. But yeah, man, I'm curating a metaverse bar right now, and I'm also screen recording on a video that will probably end up on YouTube if I don't, sound too incoherent and tired. But it's good to see you in here, man. I'm having a great time sitting next to the 3D Drank right now. You can check me out if you're on mobile. If you want to join me in the space, I'm on oncyber.io/metabar, metabar. You can just do that on mobile without even having to add your private keys or anything. You can just jump right in. And I'm in here. I'm not actually in the space. Like, if you go there, you won't see me because I'm in editor mode right now. But you can go there and you can play around. And if you go there and you click join in multiplayer, then if other people are in there, you'll be able to see them too. Alright, I had some cool like alcohol type domains, like I heart beer or something, but the heart emoji doesn't search well. That's one of the things that's annoying. Even if you pull up the keyboard with the... Actually, it does. That's good news, because I think that's new. But if you pull up the Windows period hotkey for the local emoji keyboard, it actually does enable you to like select on desktop OnCyber your some of your emojis. Some emojis not totally compatible on Windows, but that's pretty cool actually. I heart beer emoji right now hanging on the wall of the bar. See, this is the idea, is to put this stuff in a context where it can have like the proper value and exposure. Like somebody goes, holy crap, you literally have I heart beer emoji in the metaverse bar. Like, yes, I do. That's cool. And yeah, I'm just really digging some of these other registrations I've been into recently. I've been going off on some small registrations. Also, Punk's voxels. That's another thing I wish I had a little bit of sales starting to generate now, because there's some projects that I see a lot of value in happening. Voxels are releasing the ape voxels. I have a bunch of CryptoPunk voxels that are correlated to the ones that Gary Vee owns, or at least one. But I also have an ape that's correlated to one that he owns. So I'm like shopping the value out of that collection in a really strategic way that if I had a little more capital, I could bag up like some grails right there if anyone's interested in talking about that, some alpha. I literally have already built the list and everything, just waiting for a little bit of funds. But here we are. I'm going to throw some frames on these because they look a little silly. I don't know. They look silly regardless, but and I need to put background. That's the coolest thing, is that now that I'm hanging my ENS all over the place, like these blue frames just look silly to me, and I can't wait to start adding avatars for all these. Drinks wine, I heart beer, sips wine emoji. Actually, is that sips coffee? Yeah, that's sips coffee. What the heck? You can't have sips coffee. That one's for the bouncer. You can't have sips coffee on the wall of the bar. Where's the sips wine? There it is. That was a clerical error. Please forgive the clerical errors. We're looking for a new administrative support staff in the bar. It's great to have you chilling, Negative Zero. I've been making new friends, man. Metaverse friends. People who have influence in a realm as yet not understood by even the most degenerate of ENS homies. So the metaverse is actually like being erected at this moment in a substantive way, and there are people who are banding together and have an interest in making sure that it's a place that's liberated and fun. And those are my homies. And you should hang with us. Biometa, make a NFT, Nira. There's some really good people. They're multi-metaverse. They're into OnCyber and Decentraland and voxels and everything. It doesn't matter. It's all portal together. Alt space VR even. We don't care. So that's kind of interesting. It's kind of a neutral place to come from. I know I had some better like domains that would be better in a bar. Oh, it's like flaming heart. I should just search for beer emoji or just the word beer. Let's see if let's start with beer emoji. Oh yeah, I have OX triple cheers. Honestly, those are starting to have value now. It's hilarious. Oh yeah, drinks beer emoji. That is placed though. Okay, kind of some of these ones actually don't normalize very good on Windows, but if I hang them here, they presumably will format correctly if you visit them on mobile. So this is just an experiment. So I'm hanging up I'm hanging up heart emoji, flame emoji, beer emoji. And now when you see that and you think, what is this person doing with this heart emoji, flame emoji? It's because there's a normalization thing with the flaming heart, emoji. So it actually has some value potentially that this will normalize, as flaming heart beer, which is a lot cooler than just, heart fire beer. It's like, what? I love fire beer. Like maybe Firestone would like that or something. I don't know, but it's intended to, and it does format and normalize as Flaming Heart beer. It's just on different platforms, a little non-specifically formatted right now. I don't understand the technical nuance of it. Darn Unicode stuff is like kind of complex. Honestly, Luke Wrightman is like the most knowledgeable genius on that I'm aware of. The guy really knows his stuff. And there's a few others who are really informed on it, but they're a little less accessible because they're like building the actual thing. Like Prem and some of the other devs. Okay, ETH tab. That one's just good. That's Stan. And then I thought I might rotate this, because of the stools. See, now I've had a little bit of experience like trying to use the space and stuff, so I have a different perception of what's a good way to do the layout. It's hard to get in here and access this to look closely at the label and stuff. It's nice for positioning, but it's better for like viewing if you maybe have the label on the outside. And then we could bring the size down a little bit. It's a little bit exaggerated. But when you do that, you also have to look at the... actually, let's do that manually. How about the slider is just not quite right, but you also have to go with the elevation of the asset now. I have to take into consideration how high up it's going to be floating off the table, because it kind of resizes based on the center point, the gravity, center point of the object or whatever. So now if I can just... And it's also hard in here to I don't understand how in OnCyber you're supposed to go, like, I know if you hold spacebar you go up, but so once you're up, it's like, okay, how do I go down? You just double click to go down, but there's no like go further down. So when I try to actually change, in other words, there's some issues with the 3D Studio that could be worked out. It could be a little bit better. All right, move. I like to actually talk to the OnCyber community. They're doing something really, really neat, and it's really not as well used as it should be. I think there's a lot of room to do adoption here. A lot of value here. The thing is, it's a really familiar kind of experience. Why is this like, it's like all of a sudden this asset is now like locked to some grid or something? It just makes no sense. Okay, I really don't like stuff like that. Where it formerly would move on a perfect like slider, you just drag it infinitely, but now it's like locking to some kind of grid setup. Like, what the heck? Okay, I'm just gonna have to refresh this whole page and re-enter the studio and see if that changes. Hopefully that's just a stupid glitch, because that's not how this works. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it was. So half the time when you find some broken thing, it's just like a broken state at that moment that you can fix by just refreshing. It's like, have you tried turning it off and on again? The fundamental wisdom of anything computer related from IT Crowd. One of the greatest shows of all time, by the way. If anyone's listening is not familiar with IT Crowd, literally the best show ever. Literally like the most hilarious tech-related English British comedy. They only made like 3 or 4 seasons, but it should have kept going forever. It's like Flight of the Conchords. It's like one of the best shows that just was ended too soon. And Firefly. There's about a dozen of them. I'm not really that big of a show TV guy, but those are some favorites. Those were the ones that ruined all TV for me, actually. Alright, so, and then we got our fish tank over here. So here we go. We got fish tank. What up, Acosta? Just letting you know right now, in case it may appear to you as though I'm just rambling alone or rambling to -0. Both are in fact true, but I am also screen capturing from my local machine, and I'm doing a little demo on how to use the OnCyber builder. And I've got some animated three-dimensional assets in here, so please feel free to hang out and join the conversation as well. You're invited to speak and everything. I just want to let you know the context and that there's no rules here either. It's literally just a chill metaverse chill. I'm in a bar in a metaverse moving things around, so you're welcome to chat about anything you like with us. Right now, if you want to join us just on the bar, if you don't want to speak, even if you just want to be in the physical space where I am, in the metaverse, you can go to oncyber.io/metabar. So it's ONCYBER, oncyber.io/metabar. And when you get in the metabar, you'll see that there's some animated three-dimensional assets in there, which are quite fun. I mean, seriously, sincerely fun. And I actually need your guys' support right now. I don't really I do a lot of shilling, but it's mostly joke shilling. I'm just kind of pumping something that I'm into that no one's ever gonna buy probably. Oh, I registered some silly registration. But this is actually a really sincere shill. I actually need your guys' help to build something special. So, what's up, Peace? Oh, I'm sorry, Pekek, P-E-C-E-C, Pesek. I don't know. Help us understand how to say it right. So cool to have the maxis all rolling in though. Look at everyone's maxied out. Isn't that cool? I'm the only one not rocking the maxi. I better maxi up real quick. I'm gonna do that. Here we go. You guys check out my maxis. I'm just gonna do that real quick. So you guys, I'm gonna flex my cool maxis. I really enjoy. Oh, you know what? Actually, no. I'm sorry, maxis. I love you guys, and I'm a maxi at hardcore. But what I'm gonna flex right now is my golden ape, dude. You're not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this. Oh, n0vax got a golden ape from the Apes Voxels collection. Yes, he did. I'm gonna announce it too. I snagged a golden ape from the ape. Oh, I guess I have to say from the punk voxels #ape voxels collection. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. And he's got the Basie hat on. He's a voxel, and he's metaverse ready. So the thing is, why I'm excited about this, okay, I just posted it, and then I can pin it so you guys could see it in here. Boom. And I've just changed my PFP too. So this is one of whatever 50, you know what I mean? 50 golden apes. And so to have one as an ape voxel is cool. Ape voxel collection just launched. It's like a punk voxels. You have to basically, if you have punk voxel, whatever number punk voxel you have, in order to encourage everyone to wrap them, they create this other secondary collection that's just voxelized apes. And so whatever punk you have, let's say you have punk 1000, then you get ape 1000. So they're not correlated by rarity, they're just correlated by token ID. And so yeah, you can go and farm. You can farm the Bored Ape Yacht Club holders voxel apes. They're not really connected to that collection, but you can farm the correlated ones by in this way. It's a little bit complex process. You have to use Gym and OpenSea and whatever else, just kind of toggling back and forth, Rarity Sniffer or whatever, Rarity Sniper. But I've sussed out quite a few that are owned by some influential people, and that they might want their ape or their punk later. You know what I mean? So just a cool thing to be aware of. Yo, later on, -0, good to see you, man. -0 just pieced out. He's basically the progenitor of all things negative emojis. Him and I spoke a while back about the 2 emoji combo alpha, and that ultimately led him to this discovery of the negative single digits, the minus sign emoji, which has now spawned the -99 and the -1K club, and some -10Ks as well. So it's just dope, honestly. It's just rad. But yeah, I'll go on here. Let me put my now that I flexed my ape, I'm going to put on my maxi real quick because it just doesn't feel right to be hanging with the maxis and not rock the maxi. So 1 second. I've got a worldwide, so I'm going to rep that right now. I've got a worldwide, a cannabis, and a flaming ring, and a few others that I really enjoy that are my forever ones, and then a few that I'll probably sell along the way and floor. you know, as the floor increases, I basically kind of registered them, or I listed them at different prices on the way up. They're kind of a bunch of floor maxis I've listed at different prices to try and liquidate a couple as I go. But then there's some that I'll just never mess with. You know, hopefully we'll keep these and ride them all the way to the top, and that's a good place. That's a good approach to have, I think. Choose NFT. I don't know why it's like so hard sometimes. When I go to collections, it just nothing loads, and when I go to recent, um, you know, it's not that helpful because it's just you're scrolling forever. So I think eventually this setup will get a little bit more friendly for people like me. I've just got too much stuff in one place. It's not the greatest for security either. Um, but here we go. Gotcha. My worldwide. Boom. And we're going to do some more security focused stuff. Because actually there's a few people I know are really big on security. I'm doing some things that are going to be more important for security. So time to kind of batten down the hatches more for all of us to have some diversified holdings. It's just like, yeah, it costs a lot to move things around. And if you have a setup that works for you, that you trust, that you know you can recover, it's difficult to deviate from that and take a risk on learning something new and trying a new strategy. So, but I think it's important for all of us to kind of try and grow in our security practices too. So I've got some consultations booked to be kind of cleaning up my act a little bit so that I'm locked down a little bit tighter. So I'm back in the bar here. I feel good about this. I've pretty much achieved what I wanted to achieve. I literally just came in here because I was like, okay, I want to put something on the wall that was animated, and I did that, and then I thought, okay, well, I might as well curate some of these ENS. And now that I've pretty much, yeah, every frame is full. Now that every frame, that's available to me is like, what else can I do in here? Nothing. So that was my main problem with OnCyber, is that these spaces are extraordinary. Some of the pre-made spaces are really fun and cool, and I like them. And they have a limited number of frames, and they're intended for you to hang like, a little NFT on the wall, maybe 5 or 10 or 20 or even 100. But at some point, it's like, no, I want to hang NFTs on the wall, and I want to place 3D objects around. Okay, I don't want to have to choose between them. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna just go ahead and since there's no since there's no frames left, I basically here, look, count them: bicycle, American flag, plant, cigar box, the Friday night happy hour drank, and the fish tank. Okay, so however many that was, that's a lot of frames that would otherwise be able to support more ENS on the walls or more art on the walls and stuff. So that's my issue with all of the OnCyber spaces, is that it would be nice if we weren't, I guess there's a couple of restrictions, is that once you have too many frames, it starts to bog, and you can't load it on a phone as reliably or reliably at all, which is a big problem for me particularly. I don't like that. So I think it's better to have smaller spaces that are linked together. So instead of trying to make 150 or 200 megabyte space that has 100 frames in it, why not make 3 or 4 smaller spaces that are maybe 50 or 100 megabytes, and they contain very many frames. You can just have your pick, whatever you want, put as much 3D stuff, put as much frames as you want, and then if you want, to expand on that, just go clone the space. That's the easiest thing. You can make once you own a space, you can just create as many instances of it as you like. It's just, that's the thing. So if it's a space that kind of tiles well, it's oh, okay, just make another and just portal to it from door to door to door, a space that's kind of generic in nature, so that it would be easy to travel from it to it to it. You know what I mean? There's a few like that. Origin Residence has a feature like that in the big large gardens, where you could just create a labyrinth of them linked all together and put different assets in them. So all right, that's enough for for all the YouTube part of this. I think I'm just gonna quickly flip over to not the okay, to the Origin Residence, Skull Cave. Okay, I've got to do something in the Skull Cave really quick, but it's gonna have some obnoxious music playing in my ears. So I'm going to have to take off the computer headset. It's funny, I've got headphones in for the Twitter space, and then on top of that I've got my headset in for my computer. So it's just, yeah, it's just a different level of nerd maximalism. What the heck? Well, that's a cool view of this space. I've never seen it opened up like from the periphery quite so cool. The Skull Cave is quite fun, you guys. Please join the Cyber CryptoSkulls. I'm a community manager for Cyber CryptoSkulls, and I'm a part of the story of how it all started, you know? So that's a cool thing, and he, Maxie, and I are friends, and I really appreciate and value him as an artist, and he seems to appreciate me as a community manager and stuff, so it's a nice relationship, and I think we're going to do a lot. We're doing some great Metaverse stuff as well, like creating 3D versions of the skulls and augmented reality 3D versions of them. Like, it's okay, it's going to be dope. Just know that. Alright, yeah, now the skull music is playing. Alright, so you come into the skull cave. I'm going to talk a little louder so I can hear myself, but I've come into the skull cave and at the skull cave, and it's saying I'm a bad motherfucker, I'm bad, I'm coming, I'm a skull mother effer. It's just crazy because our friend Dundo from the CryptoSkulls made this NFT track, and I bought it and was able to place it in here with a proximity effect, right? So I can drag the proximity slider, and the music will play louder as you're closer to the source of it. So as you spiral around the staircase, you know, it should kind of just barely reach you. That's what I had intended. So I can kind of turn up the proximity slider a little bit. Where is it? I don't think it can. Did I accidentally ruin it? I think I. No, I didn't. Okay. I'm just on the back side of it, and I wish that it's interesting. I wish that the assets displayed mirrored, you know, on both sides. It seems like it would make more sense, because a lot of times you're looking at the back of a frame and it's kind of like, what the heck? Alright, so here is a little secret 3D area, 3D closet, and where I am right now at this moment is on oncyber.io/Skull Cave, SKULLCAVE. The Skull Cave is where I'm hosting events for the Cyber Skulls, the Cyber Crypto Skull community. And Cyber CryptoSkulls are all, well, the first derivative of the CryptoSkulls project, made by the creator of the hooded CryptoSkulls, which is like primarily my main PFP, the yellow one with the hood that everyone probably recognizes me by, on non-fungible art team, nonfungibleart.io. I think it's just /team, but on the team page for non-fungible art, that's the PFP that's there, and also for Tonic Labs. All the stuff that I do in a more professional capacity is kind of associated with that PFP, so I kind of almost like risk endangering my brand by just, you know, jumping around it, LARPing different PFPs all the time. But it's also the case that promoting those brands and identifying with them and is helpful for me and for everyone too. So it's a conversation that we've been having about the ENS really being the persistent, you know, identity in the midst of all these options. So here we are in front of the amazing QR code that I lazy minted this QR code as a Polygon NFT just so I could import it in here, just so I could place it in the frame, because the idea to me of having augmented reality link out of virtual reality is so futuristic and cool and practical. Like, it makes sense to me. It's what I wanted, so it's what I created, right? I was like, all right, I want to be able to go into my OnCyber space, and then from there I want to invite people in, and I want them to be able to experience the augmented reality in their physical IRL space where they are, which they can't presently do. So the idea is, like, you come in here, you scan this QR code, it's a little link to, I don't even remember, to be honest with you, I don't even remember which asset this is. It's the gun, it's the Uzi, I think. Here, I'll show you on, if you're watching on the recording back. Where is it? Right here. This Tupac encrusted golden Uzi. So basically, if you want to put this Tupac encrusted golden Uzi on your kitchen table, or any of the 3D assets that we do through BUST3D, BUST3D, Busted, or BUST3D, whatever you want to call it. It's just kind of a play on words, so both are fine. But yeah, Busted is all about creating all these assets, which are much more than just a 3D asset. 3D assets are cool, but we thought, like, a lot of people are giving away 3D assets for free. There's not a ton of utility for them necessarily. If we want to create an economy around 3D assets, how do we leverage the augmented reality, tools that we have? And I said, we gotta, connect it through unlockable content to the links to the AR experience, and that's how we're gonna, help people understand how fun this is, because that's really what as a collector and enthusiast, that's where I'm coming from. I'm not like trying to shill products everywhere. I mean, look, it's a golden Uzi from Tupac, with Tupac on it. It's like that's just appeals to somebody, likes that. I liked it, and my friend 3D Creator made it. I can't get in touch with him. I think he lives in Turkey, and it was like 6 months ago or a year ago, he was making these dope assets that I was trying to market for him, but there wasn't really quite a market for it. But now there really can be, and I can see a better vision for how to do it. But that's the story with a lot of these assets. It's not like just like hard shilling my own stuff, even though the 3D stuff in here, not in here, but in the bar, the 3D stuff that was in the bar where we came from. That is, stuff that I have a financial interest in, 20% interest in selling that, So that is me saying, like, buy the stuff, because it's like definitely cool, and you can't view the unlockable augmented reality link unless you buy the assets. And I priced them and supplied them in the most economical way. Like, I literally think I did a good job thinking it over. Let's price them so that they're like under $10 and mostly like under like $5, mostly like 1 or 3, 0.003, 0.001, whatever, cheap, and a fairly low supply. Like, some of them have a supply of 69. The drink bottle is only 69, and a few are only like, of the bicycles, like only 100 of those, so there's like small supply, cheap assets. Like, we're not going to make a lot of money on them. The thing is, I want to show that we can sell anything, like we can do any sales at all. I'm testing the market to see if anyone out there is like, I have an OnCyber space and I want a bicycle in it, and I'm willing to spend $1 on it, or 5 or 10, that's the thing. And if it's a small supply and it's some of our first stuff, and my friends, believe in what we're doing, then I have confidence that that'll be reflected in some early sales. What? Wait, another secret chamber? I'm telling you, this space is full of secrets. It's crazy. I've never seen that one before. It's right through here. Boom. And you can hang an asset. Let's hang an asset in here. See, isn't that cool? We should hang a music asset because it'll help give people a clue, if that they're getting close here. What about the Jolly Roger? Can we hang 2 of those in here? Probably. But I have to search. I'm going to put it on the Polygon network, and then I think I named it Jolly Roger. I basically took my Jolly Roger from Doge Party, and I lazy minted it as a Polygon asset with the Pirates of the Caribbean music as well. Oh, darn it. PirateRichard.meta. That's hilarious. I have these .meta domains I got spammed with on Polygon, and I don't know anything about them. Well, that's not working very well. I want the music one. Where's the music? Jolly. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so it says it's placed already, but I can place it again, and I will. And on this one, I'm going to crank the positional sound reach. Okay, and then I'm going to crank that up. And size, we'll crank that up. Alright, I got Pirate's Life for Me blasting in my ears, so I'm going to back away. So that is literally within my space that I've had for weeks. I mean, for weeks. I just discovered a new hidden cavern within it. And this space, by the way, was created by somebody who we're connected to loosely, like the amazing XR guys have a relationship with. They met, they've spoken. They both live in Austria, and I'll show you his signature on here. Actually, it's a little bit hard to navigate, like I was saying, with the vertical up-down stuff. I need to learn a little bit better if there's a hotkey to actually navigate like down. But here you go. Look, it says buy Wolfgang. See that? 3D by OX Wolfgang. Oh, and that's a piano for our scavenger hunt. That's one of our assets. I shrunk it down there. Kind of fun. And a lot of music. Let me escape out of there. So Wolfgang does this really cool. I mean, this space right here. Look at this. Like I was saying, I just discovered a new hidden compartment. Way to go, Wolfgang! You genius, man. Guy literally does. Look at this procedural mapping and stuff, and the like the non-linear, text, like the shapes of the. How does he even? I would love to know more about how this is done, because this is a real art. I mean, this guy is truly gifted, and he does some of the most high quality 3D stuff in the world. I mean, truly, he's done it for. He works for, like, the guy is a veteran of 3D design, and he does stuff for like the most wealthy and elite 3D stuff. So I just wanted to have one of his spaces, and I'm still getting so much value and enjoyment out of it, and it's super affordable as well. The space itself is really affordable. But anyway, so we've been talking with him about maybe doing some space, building some spaces together, because it would be great if he could build environments for us and we could put our assets in them. You see, like, he can make these amazing environments custom for us, and then we can place all of our AR environment, stuff in them. And then you come in here and you say, all right, well, I want to experience. What are you talking about? Novax, augmented reality. What are you talking about? Well, then you can just scan the QR code. So if you're on desktop, gosh, it's really hard for me to navigate right now. There we go. So if you're on desktop and you're inside of oncyber.io/metabar or /skull cave, and you say, hey, I want to I want to see what this augmented reality stuff is all about. That sounds interesting. Well, then from your cell phone, right, from your mobile phone, you're on desktop in the space, and from your mobile phone, you can scan the QR code, and it will pop up the experience right there. There's one. And I'm just going to do a bunch of these, but part of the idea is to actually put the QR code with some of the sample assets, like with the display assets. And I think that's a really wise idea, to just basically connect, like with a tooltip, on like a 3D tooltip. So the three-dimensional object actually itself has a tooltip coming off of it attached to a QR code, so that you could come over here and look at the knife, for example, and there'd be like a neon wire up here to a QR code, and you would say, okay, I'm going to scan this QR code, and then you could put the knife on your desk in front of you that you're sitting at, or on the table that you're sitting at. And that's the idea, is to show people that there's going to be a lot more utility with these assets and wearables and things, and we're just only breaching the possibilities of what we could do. Being able to real-time tether them to with VR, with AR experiences, to human, like to have a watch that represents on your hand, that kind of stuff would be fun. All right, so that's enough for the happy hour and for the caves. I think we've covered some cool stuff. I wanted to curate the meta pools, so I'll just jump over there and just add a few little things, meta domains, into the meta pools. So some of these meta domains include, as you walk in, Metaverse Pirate, Metaverse Alien, Meta Pirate, is Metaverse, Metaverse Exit, Metaverse Entrance, Metaverse Station, Metaverse Entry, Metaverse Door, Ticket Meta, Immersion Meta, Events Meta, Auction Meta. That's a great one, Auction Meta. Meta Immersive, Portal Meta, Tickets Meta, plural. Meta Immersed. So just kind of stacking some meta domains around here. And this is where I got distracted, because I added this Skull Caves on accident, because I thought it was an ENS domain. Turned out it was the actual OnCyber space. And so when I saw that it would load as a video, I thought, oh, I better put one of those videos on the TV. I've been looking for a cool little video asset to put on the TV in the bar, so just want to explore what that would look like. And Meta Historical. Ooh, actually that one was apparently already placed. My error. I hope I'm not duplicating. I don't want to be duplicating these. That would be frustrating. Maybe I should just remove that. and pop in some of these other cool ones. Event meta. Okay, that's nice. Event meta, not bad, not bad. What else we got? Meta, everything meta. Meta immersive, meta dash immersive. Meta zombie emoji. Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah, meta zombie emoji. That's what I'm talking about. What about meta? They've got a lot of meta emojis. What about meta, meta lion emoji? Yep, meta lion. Who's meta lion? Who's meta shark? I got meta shark ready to go. Meta shark. That one's strong. Meta bat. That one's got to go to my homie 1212. Honestly, he's got to be the meta bat. I'm gonna do a deal with him on that one. Do some trades. Meta mouse. Oh, meta mouse emoji. See how strong these are? Just grails, just laying around, just for the taking. I need some more ETH. Anyone got some ETH? Hit me up. Registered 10 grails for you right now. I'm like dripping grails. What's a grail? What's a grail until somebody pays grail prices for it? Meta chill. I like to meta chill. I think I filled up every frame. Have I? See, that happened a lot faster. There's only a couple left. I was afraid this would happen. Create the meta pools. They're already overflowing. I have to meta skull. Okay, that's a winner. And meta dolphin. Meta dolphin emoji. I mean, have I just squandered my children's future? I mean, possibly. Is Meta Dolphin going to pay me back the registration cost? Yes, definitely. What are you talking about? Definitely. Somebody here, amongst the 2 people listening, one of you is about to pay 10 grand for Meta Dolphin. I could tell. Probably 20 grand. I need 15 in today's market. You know, just knowing it's a down economy, I think Meta Dolphin is probably worth like 75 to 1,000 Ethereum, like a rough ballpark range. It's so funny. Some of the Shark Tank, ENS Shark Tank kind of like, perceptions of value. Like we're so depegged from reality right now. Domain plug is gonna be really good to help us and everyone. And ENS Vision's just been nice too, but I think just more and more valuation and secondary marketplaces and discoverability are going to be really, really beneficial for people, especially people like me, like registering kind of untraditional stuff that we think will have value, but it's got to be sort of found first. It might be a little difficult to find. But it's part of the reason why I'm doing all this. I want to be able to show people kind of a little unique perspective of things that I think are interesting. And maybe you'll agree. Maybe it'll inspire you to do your own thing. Hopefully both. So that's all for me for n0vax.eth signing out from YouTube. Signing out. Oh well, before I do, hold on. It's so special. Whoa. Okay, let's not mess around. Yes. What? Yes. I got a wearable sweater. Okay, this is cool. Check this out. See that? I can't believe this. I'm excited about this hoodie. But I don't think he understood me. I was talking about non-wearable wearables. So the idea here is that wearables have this potential to embed potentially like audio files and stuff, audio interactions, right? Firecrackers that do things, whatever. So I was talking to him about like accessories, like interactables, like non-wearable wearables, the same file type as a wearable kind of, like that would house all the same info. So I was like, figure out how to deal with wearables correctly, and interactables or whatever they're called, and then we can do things like give, our spa, we have a hot tub, and I want to give it like a bubble sounds, so that when you approach it with the proximity, when you embed it, upload it as the whatever file type those wearables are into your OnCyber or your Decentraland or whatever, as you approach it, I want it to actually, cue the audio. It's just such a more sensory immersive experience. And I'm just trying to help our AR guys see that there's utility in that, and that they don't give up on the fact that that file type doesn't exist. That standard hasn't been defined. It probably, maybe not in the specific way that I'm talking about, maybe hasn't, but look, I mean, I was just in Alt Space VR interacting with objects that do that. I don't know if they're tokenized or whatever, but it's just not, it's not impossible, and we should build it if we want it. And that there's a reason to want that. Imagine all of your objects. It's so much more interactive. Instead of a motorcycle, it's a, you get up to it and it's a vroom vroom. It's a rumbling motorcycle. Instead of a swimming pool, you get up next to it and it's all of a sudden it's a bubbling swimming pool. You know, it gives more description just by virtue of the sound is more descriptive and more immersive and more. It evokes a more sensory. It's just, I'm a huge sound audiophile. I mean, I'm like a musician of 30 years or something. I play guitar, drums, bass, piano, sing. I love music and I love sound, and so this part is really important to me. I do a lot of sound effects. You should check out my own. Here, I'm going to show you guys some. If you're on the video, I'm going to show you my. I guess, what is it? It's Doge Party. So go to dogeparty.xchain.io, and then you can search Babelverse, Babelverse. It'll bring up a few assets: Missile, Time Machine, Fish Council, Beach Ball, Golden Astro, Motorbike, Volcano, DeFi Dojo. So these assets are all just kind of like pieces of art that I creative directed, and then I did like the audio effects and motion graphics, and it's a lot about the audio. Like, it's a lot of audio effects. You can hear the bubbling audio. You can hear the sound of the comet or meteorite, whatever, flying by. And so I got the animations and masked them. But then this one, here we've got the time machine. We've got the sound of a vehicle kind of like beeping at you that you need to plug in your seatbelt or whatever, and the ignition sound, the sound of the throttle, the sound of the carburetors opening up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's gives it, and then the sound of the acceleration and taking off as it fades to black. Like, that's now you're there. Here's one with blue flame in the middle. This one is called Babelverse.Fish Council. I uploaded some of these assets to Doge Party just because it's OG to do that, and it's cheap and cooler than Polygon, even though it's less utility at this moment. I mean, it's not cooler than Polygon, whatever it is. It's just, I didn't want to lazy mint to OpenSea, so if I knew how to mint to Polygon, like using Manifold or something directly, I would have done that, but I haven't crossed that bridge yet. So I just threw it up on Doge Party. But yeah, we've got the sounds of this electrical zapping for these, and the sound of a fire. It's a blue flame in the middle of outer space, but I took a regular crackling fire sound and placed it on a stereo balance to the right, I think to the right side. And also got some sounds of the fish jumping in water and things like that. Another asset that I did, the Babelverse.Beach Ball. I had Beast Amazin as the painter on a lot of these, and so I kind of aggregate some reference art as a creative director, and I hired this team and put together a storyboard, and then I do the motion graphics and the audio effects over it. And in this case, actually also like compose a lot of the music, and then at least the MIDI music is composed by a friend, but actually one of the guys I hired, Darth Vader. But like, I would play on my guitar, or my synth or whatever, just kind of the ideas loosely, and then we would work together to kind of refine it. So that was a fun process, really collaborative, with like 3 or 4 different people working on each of these assets. This one has a dubstep track playing in the background, and it's a golden astronaut with a fishbowl head, the glowing babel fish inside, and he's in this alchemical foundry, like creating this stablecoin aggregator. That was kind of the idea. This stuff was all from early 2021. But yeah, here's a motorcycle. This is Babelverse.Motorbike. Also another asset. I'm having some dispensers on Doge Party, but it's like a motorcycle, sound of acceleration, some masking of smoke and various effects, more bubble masking, same kind of stuff. And the last one, the volcano. This one was actually probably the best and funnest one to do because it has a lot of masking of flames and audio effects of like hot lava and explosion. The opacity masking was a little bit more in depth on this, so it was like kind of a fun one to do. It required a few more layers. And then this is just like a digital music track that I put together. Actually used audio DAW as Premiere Pro. I just kind of leveraged my knowledge of Premiere Pro to use it like an audio workstation, and it ended up going kind of in a cool direction with some auto tuning or pitch correcting on text-to-speech stuff. So I like put in like Stephen Hawking voice text-to-speech generator, just like Babelfish Never Die and Not Your Keys, Not Your Coins, and then I kind of like pitch corrected and dragged that stuff through the Premiere Pro editing software to just put some different spin on things. So this song is kind of an iconic for me moment in my life when I was throwing myself into Web3 in a really like complete and immersive way, just saying like I want to build something. I'm building this. And gave it everything, and then shoot, man, unfortunately, just didn't go the way that I'd hoped. Just what it was. Like the stablecoin aggregator wasn't something I was building. I was building the creative side, and having great success with that. But unfortunately, the aggregator the team just built nothing. It was basically like a rug. They just did nothing, and that's how it goes sometimes. You're just waiting around, you're trying to find people to help. You have an idea, you start it, you assume more people will come along and help you, solve some issues, and it doesn't happen. So that's kind of what was going on with the underlying protocol. So eventually the 42 Bitcoin that we raised at the sale, that I was deep, involved in trying to help promote the brand so we could have a successful token sale, and took a lot of pride in the success of that. But unfortunately, it just couldn't be sustained to just be paying us and others to be building things that weren't even part of the core vision that was promised to the token holders. And so we were just kind of outbuilding them on our creative end of things, and outbuilding the actual core protocol that needed to be doing quite a bit more to satisfy the holders. So ultimately we were kind of the VCs came in. They're kind of like, all right, well, what can we scrap from this? What can we do with that? And now, I don't know, it's project's being incubated by Sovereign, so I have hope that'll go well. But we'll see. I know they just had a recent community call, and I'm kind of unplugged from it. My fish is mostly staked. Whatever I have left is staked in the fish governance protocol, probably to be, not worth very much. So, but it was a great learning experience, great community. Made a lot of friends there. Actually, a lot of my 3D developer homies are from there. Yogi, and gosh, there's a handful of artists and really core people to Gymbox and all the things that I've been doing since then. That it all started there. All right, so that's probably cool enough. I don't know how I got on that tangent. I want to kind of show everyone that audio is important to me, and that I think that having these assets have a component of them that's audio. I mean, look how much you get from just the fish swimming around. He's just sitting there swimming. Look at that. I mean, that's everything to me. But if it was also a little sound of some bubbles going, and it was louder as I approached it, that's like everything in chocolate cake. I mean, even the cigar box. You go over to the cigar box, and maybe you hear the sound of the little cigar cutter, or lighting a cigar even. That could be cool. Could kind of get obnoxious if it's on loop and it's loud. So you have to have sounds like that are not like white noise like a fish tank would be. You kind of have to keep them down, keep the volume on them down, and have the repeat duration kind of longer, so it's not just like obnoxious like my Pirates of the Caribbean track is just always going off. So yeah, that's all for now. Thank you guys, anyone who tuned in. It's about an hour long screen record. I'm gonna upload it and put it on my YouTube channel, and I'll post it to Twitter Spaces as well, or post it to Twitter rather, so that I'll post it on this Twitter Space so you can see what it was I was doing while I was rambling into Twitter. And this is how it'll be. Yo, peace. And this is how it'll be on the very first few times we do this on the Friday night happy hour bar too. Like, I want to have everyone jumping around in here and exploring around, having a good time. and also on the Twitter space, so we don't have to like exodus from Twitter, but we can just sort of slowly make the switch if the audio on OnCyber is sufficient and everyone's able to access it on mobile. But I kind of don't have hope that that will be perfect for a while. So I think the solution will be kind of like this, a hybrid solution for a long time. But at least the next time I'll screen record it, and I've realized that's going to be the motivating factor to bring everyone in here, because they'll see me hanging out during the bar. And maybe someone else will come in with me, and then eventually it'll be more than just one or two of us, but more people will see that this is a part of the experience. There'll be things happening in here that you can only experience if you have, the ticket. We'll gate it by the ticket, so you can only come into the VR spot, and there's things you can only see and do in here if you have the ticket, etc. And that's just about like how many people could you really fit in here? 50? I mean, it'll lag and not work, so we have to gate it at some point. All right. Well, maybe it's good to end it there. Appreciate you guys, Acosta and PECEC, my fellow ENS Maxi homies. Got the Fire Ring, got the Worldwide Ring in the house. You guys are some of the early adopters, early supporters, and collectors of ENS Vision ENS Maxis. Just by the fact that you have those assets, it's an indication that you guys are some real OG Maxis, real OG domainers. And so I really appreciate you running with me. Please explore the very affordable collection that I'm a partner in. It's called Cyber CryptoSkulls. It's a first CryptoSkulls derivative. It's like 0.0039 or 0035. You can sweep it on Gym. You could sweep like 100 of those, and that will give you access to the Skull Cave. And so that's a part of the Metaverse stuff. The Skull Cave is where I'm going to be dropping the ENS alpha, like the deep alpha. I'm making that something where anytime I have some alpha that I just only want the deep homies to know, like I don't want to give it out there on Main Street, it's going to be token gated behind the CryptoSkulls, Cyber CryptoSkulls. So just be aware of that, and please check us out. Get involved in that community. We're taking skulls into the Metaverse. That's our whole mission. Peace.